The Trump administration's tariffs against China are causing some hostility here at home. About 3,500 American companies are suing the federal government, claiming President Trump's trade war with the Asian powerhouse is doing more harm than good. RT's Alex Mihailovich has the story.
When it comes to U.S.-China relations, 2020 started off on the right foot.
Today we take a momentous step, one that has never been taken before with China, toward a future of fair and reciprocal trade as we sign phase one of the historic trade deal between the United States and China.
But as with most things 2020, things went downhill from there. Since the deal was signed in January, the U.S. has imposed hundreds of billions of dollars worth of tariffs against China. While the Trump administration says it's good for America, thousands of companies in the United States don't agree. U.S. businesses affected by the trade war with China are being forced to pay extra duties, increasing costs of parts and materials imported to the U.S. from the Asian superpower. For massive corporations like Tesla, Ford, Target, Walgreens, Home Depot, and Disney, to smaller businesses affected by Trump's trade war, in recent weeks, over 3,500 lawsuits have been filed against the U.S. government over its tariffs against China. According to attorneys, the lawsuits amount to an unprecedented caseload for the New York-based International Trade Court. The main argument presented by the American businesses, according to the Financial Times, is that while the U.S. government was entitled to apply tariffs on Chinese imports up to 12 months after producing its report, outlining what it said were intellectual property rights violations by the Chinese government, two of the later rounds of the tariffs fell outside of this time limit. If the American companies win their case, the U.S. government will have to repay the tariffs collected to date. In the meantime, the Trump administration has found another avenue to lash out at China's economy: rare earth minerals. Last week, President Trump signed an executive order declaring a national emergency in the mining industry. The goal is to boost domestic production of rare earth minerals and eliminate America's dependence on China's resources in a sector that country dominates globally. Rare earth minerals are critical in everything from military technologies to cell phones and electric car batteries. Even with the possible infusion of government grants and new tariffs to boost U.S. production, American mining companies say China's hold on the industry may take years to break. According to Trump's executive order, currently, the U.S. imports 80% of these elements directly from China, while getting most of the other 20% from other countries, which get it from China. While some blame the Trump administration for the trade war with China, ultimately, little will change no matter who wins the November election. While the president has shown that he's not backing down from his position, his challenger, Joe Biden, has promised to keep the battle going with China if he becomes leader of the free world. Either way, American consumers and companies will be the ones paying until all is said and done. For RT, I'm Alex Mihailovich.
All right, Shalom. Let's start out by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and where I learn this truth. All right. So, as you see in that clip that just went off, all right, these Americans, all right, are upset with their political parties, all right. They upset with Trump right now, all right. He has a whole bunch of, so-called Americans suing him, all right, because of the shit he got going on with China, all right, and it's affecting them financially, all right, because a lot of the people of America, they get their goods and shit from China, all right. So with America being at war with China, you know what I'm saying, a tariff war with China, it's messing up they money, all right, and it's all set up to be that way because America is basically liquidating itself and it's squeezing out the small businesses and the middle class, all right. It wants it to be two classes of people, the super rich and the poor, all right. The middle class, which is the foundation and the thing that holds America together, is being ripped apart, all right. And you Americans think it's going to come back, but it's not, all right. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy America, all right. So the first scripture I'm going to get is Isaiah in chapter 19, all right. Start at verse 2. It say, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians." All right. And then to prove that America, the modern day Americans, are the Egyptians, all right, you have to understand that this place that we in right now, so-called America, is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, all right. When you read Revelations 11 and 8, it says, "And their dead bodies shall lie wait in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." All right, and it's called Sodom and Egypt because clearly you see in America homosexuality, all right, is pushed at an all-time high. All right, it's accepted. It's damn near, you know what I'm saying, pushed on the people to condone it. I mean, to do in. All right, to act in. All right, and it's Egypt for the slavery. All right, for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, whom the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus. All right, for their people. All right, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, and if y'all hear a lot of, you know what I'm saying, cars and kids running around, all right, so like about that, I got my kids out here, you know what I'm saying, I'm outside, so, you know what I'm saying, that's why you're going to hear that, if you hear that. All right, but anyway, that's why it's called Sodom and Egypt. All right, Sodom for the homosexuality and Egypt for the slavery that the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans was forced to endure. All right, but to continue on, to prove that Esau is an Egyptian, all right, because Esau, the Edomites, the so-called white man, which he is not white, all right, he's red. He's the daughter of Babylon, all right. As a nation, Edom is the daughter of Babylon, all right. This is Revelations. I mean, not Revelations. This is Psalms 137 and verse 7. It say, "Remember, O Lord, Yahweh, the children of Edom, and the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. All right. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee, as thou hast served us." All right. So Esau, Edom is the daughter of Babylon. All right. That's how you know he's the modern day Egyptian. All right. Another precept, Isaiah 47. All right. When you see start at verse 1, it say, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." All right. So it's referring to the daughter of Babylon as the Chaldeans as well. All right. So that's how you know Esau is the modern day Babylonian. All right. So let me go back to where I was at in Isaiah 19 now. All right, now this Isaiah 19 and 2. It say, "And I will set the Egyptians," meaning the Babylonians, so-called modern day Babylonians, aka the Americans. All right. So it's basically saying, I will set the Americans against each other. I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. All right. "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, the Most High Yahweh of hosts." All right, and that fierce king that's ruling over so-called America is, you know what I'm saying, the modern day Pharaoh would be considered, you know what I'm saying, Donald J. Trump. All right, and he has that fierce look. All right, he's all for his nation of people. All right, what I say a while ago? I'm doing something. What is it? Slacky. Yeah, he has that fierce look, and he's all for his people. All right. He shit, my bad, Slacky. They threw me out for a minute, but it said it shall be everyone against his neighbor. All right, and you're seeing that these people are coming up against the American politicians. All right, because really, when you fast forward and you think about what today is, America is nothing but Rome 2.0. All right, and the Edomites are nothing but the modern day. Today they were in ancient times they would be considered the Patricians and the Plebeians. All right, and it's the same way Esau has it set up today. All right, and if you don't understand what that is, all right, let me see. Right here. Salakia, 1 second. All right, this is what it is. All right, it says who were the Patricians and the Plebeians? It says Roman citizens were divided into two classes. All right, the Patricians and the Plebeians. The patricians were the wealthy upper class who owned land and held political power. The plebeians were the working class without substantial wealth. All right, and that's how you see America set up today. All right, a perfect illustration and depiction. And if you've seen the show Spartacus, all right, you had the dude, his name was Batiitis, all right? He was he would be a plebeian because he wanted to be one of the patricians, but his title, his family name didn't hold title in that state, all right? But that's what he inspired to be. But they would not let him do it. They only let him run his Luista, which is basically his gladiator school, all right? Where he had, you know what I'm saying, Jake, you know what I'm saying, in captivity, fighting as gladiators and shit. He was able to do that, but he wasn't able to be a patrician, all right? He had a problem with this dude. So like in 1 second. All right, I love you too. Go over there. He was having problems with all of, who was this dude? Gaius, all right? Gaius, the dude that caught Spartacus, all right? Him and Batiitis fell out, all right? And Batiitis basically blackmailed Gaius into to helping him get into the Senate, all right? Because he needed somebody that was a patrician to vouch for him, all right, to get him to that stage, all right? All right, if that made sense, all right? Basically, Batiitis wanted to be a patrician, and they wouldn't let him. But to prove that the the plebeians were also Edomites because they owned slaves as well. All right, let me show you. All right, it says for wealthy plebeians, life was very similar to that of patricians. Well-to-do tradesmen and their families lived in homes with atrium. It said they had slaves who did the work. Many plebeians lived in apartment houses called flats above or behind their shops. All right, so these people, you know what I'm saying, were considered, you know what I'm saying, they own slaves too. They're still Edomites, all right? And the patricians, all right, would basically be the Romans. The Romans from then. Today they would be the Republican Democrat Party, all right? Let me show you the patricians, all right? Let me see. And then when you read right here, it says, can plebeians become patricians? It says, patricians were considered the upper class in early Roman society. They controlled the best land and made up the majority of the Roman Senate. All right, America has a Senate, all right? And you know what I'm saying? I got a video I'm finna queue up now and also show, all right, it came out 10 years ago. A 12-year-old girl, the Edomite girl, figured this out. All of the presidents of so-called America are related, all right? They come from a Englishman named John Lackland, all right? An Edomite, all right? They're all related, and he's the progenitor of all of them, all right? They're all cousins, all right? I'm going to cue that video up in just a second, but continuing on, it says they had the majority of the Roman Senate. It was rare, if not impossible, for a plebeian to be a senator until 44 BC, all right? And also staying in the sitcom, in the show Spartacus, all right, you had the dude Marcus Crassus. He would be what you consider a rich, I think he'd be considered a rich plebeian because he wanted to, no, Salakia. He was a patrician. He was part of the Senate and whatnot. He wanted military recognition, so, you know what I'm saying, Salakia for that. But yeah, that was the vice versa, all right, but the plebeians, Batiitis could not be, all right. He had to go through hell and high water to get on that status, all right, and he still didn't even make it, all right, because, you know what I'm saying, Spartacus and they revolted and killed his ass, but nevertheless, that was his dreams, all right. So now let me prove, see that all of these presidents are related. They're all a bloodhood, a bloodline, a family line, all right, of patricians, all right. The same way they were back then, they're the same way today, all right. So now let me cue up that video, and then I'm gonna come back and close it out.
On the School Watch tonight, the story of a 7th grader from Salinas who claims to have made a major discovery about President Obama. She and her grandfather say that President Obama is related to all but one U.S. president. We get more tonight from Action News reporter Felix Cortez, who's live in our Salinas newsroom.
Well, Dan, the youngster spent the summer, really all summer, tracing the family tree of our presidents. Her conclusion that all the presidents, with the exception of one, share the same grandfather.
Well, first we start off with George Washington at the top, and then it goes to John Adams, Thomas Jefferson.
11-year-old Bridget Dovigneau says she's made a first-of-its-kind discovery that President Obama and all the presidents before him, with the exception of one, are related. and descendants of a former king of England.
No, they are all cousins,
Oh, I
and
see.
they're grandsons of John Lackland.
Davigno says she spent countless hours on the internet over the summer researching the lineage of our presidents, a project that started with her trying to trace her own family tree.
But I'm the first historian to do all the presidents. I'm very glad I got this done, and I think it will turn out to be a success.
The Monte Vista Christian 7th grader has written President Obama to tell him the presidents before him are his cousins. She hopes to present this family tree chart personally to the president. But Bridjan has her skeptics, including this reporter. Her biggest supporter and firm believer that Obama is a descendant of a former king of England is no doubt her mother.
If you have a child, and they 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 have a child,
Like names change.
all she's saying is this guy is the great, 25th, 27th, depending on what line it is. He created all this family. So do I believe it? Yes. It's hard, but it's true.
Well, Mom said it. Hard to believe, but you got to give the little girl an A+ for at least trying to do that and trying to accomplish that feat. And by the way, Bridjan has concluded she's the 11th cousin of President Obama. Dan, Aaron.
All right, very good. Thank you, Felix. So who is the one that President Barack Obama is not related to, according to the 7th grader? Martin Van Buren, 8th President of the United States, first U.S. President born in the U.S. Van Buren was a widowed farmer and tavern keeper from New York who helped form the Democratic Party, served one term as president. His ancestry is Dutch, and according to the Salinas 7th grader, all of the other presidents are of English ancestry.
Yeah, it's a big club, and we ain't in it. And Trump is no different than any of these other people, and it's astonishing to me how many times I've brought this up. His entire platform, when he presented himself, when he was presented as your pick for an election between him and Hillary, I'm going to put her in jail. That never, ever, ever, ever happened, because it was never, ever going to happen. These people write the laws. They're not going to put themselves in jail. Worse than that, they're all related, one way or the other. You see what I'm saying? It should be pretty obvious by now. But the thing that sticks in my mind the most is this. They're pushing this on the American public in the mainstream. And then right over here, I mean, it's not like it's hidden ancient knowledge that you need to be initiated to see. It's right here on the CDCs. The fatality ratio of this is nothing. And we've been telling you this for a long time. Dr. Tedros isn't a doctor. He is not a doctor. He was the former health minister for Ethiopia, a country not known for its large, healthy, well-fed people. Do you see what I'm saying? All of this has been coming out non-stop, and yet this is all people can see. And it's blowing me away, it's freaking me out, and it's pushing us towards another lockdown. And people are going to buy this. This is amazing to me. Absolutely and utterly amazing to me. These people are not politicians, they're actors standing in place for the corporation of the United States of America while the machine runs on. That's it. And now the corporation is being liquidated and people don't even see it. It blows me away. Trump was put here to keep the conservative Christian people that would stand up for freedom at bay. And it's worked too well, apparently. Because when you can pull this off right in front of people's faces and they still don't get it, we're in deep, deep trouble.
That we know Vice President Dick Cheney and Senator Barack Obama are distant cousins.
In my book, there's a lot of genealogical research, going back, Dick's family, my family, these heroic and amazing tales of people who went west. But one of the things I discovered is that Dick and Barack Obama are 8th cousins. What? Is that an amazing thing? Yes, if you go back 8 generations, They have a common ancestor.
The New York Post decided to check into the genealogy of President Bush, and his family tree has people talking.
Many of the United States presidents have blood relations with each other. The Bush lineage has blood ties to a great number of former presidents. George Washington, Millard Fillmore, Franklin Pierce, Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses Grant, Rutherford Hayes, James Garfield, Grover Cleveland, Teddy Roosevelt, William Taft, Calvin Coolidge, Herbert Hoover, Franklin Roosevelt, Richard Nixon, and Gerald Ford.
We all know his father, but what about his cousins? Check out this family tree, done with research by Ancestry.com. Let me take you through this, branch by branch. Vice President Dick Cheney, the man who's only a heartbeat away from the presidency, is actually a blood relation. He's President Bush's 9th cousin once removed. Cheney's cousin Barack Obama is also Bush's 11th cousin, and the 9th cousin of Brad Pitt.
In either of those first two books, though, who knew? You and Dick Cheney cousins?
You know, listen, I don't think I'm going to family reunion. I don't know how I'll be greeted.
So when you hear things like people like Brad Pitt are related to these as well, it makes things like this make a little more sense, doesn't it? Because Dr. Anthony Fauci, I'm sure, is part of the club because he's being used really, really well. And Brad Pitt, and don't...
Alright, so as you seen in that video, alright, these devils are all, you know what I'm saying, related, and they all come from this man, alright? It says John was king of England from 1199 until his death in 1216. He lost the Dutch of Normandy and most of his other French lands to King Philip II of France, resulting in the collapse of the Angevin Empire and contributing to the subsequent growth and power of the French Capetian dynasty during the 13th century. All right, so this is when he went down. All right, and if you understand history, you know America was birthed out of Great Britain, out of England. All right, so it's only natural that, you know what I'm saying, this man would be, you know what I'm saying, the quote unquote patriarch of those presidents. All right, they all, some form of fashion, have a blood relation or some kind of family ties to him. All right, going to show you that Esau Edom is the same now as he was back then. America is nothing but Rome 2.0. All right, that's all this place is, Rome 2.0. All right, and that little girl, you know what I'm saying, she figured this out at the age of 12, and it goes to show you that Esau is not a dumbass. All right, not all of them, some of them, but not all of them. All right, this is Psalms chapter 64 and 6. It say they search out iniquities. They accomplished a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. All right, so you know what I'm saying, Esau, you know what I'm saying, is a mad scientist. All right, he has a thirst to understand and know things, but it's on the left hand side. All right, it's all wickedness. All right, this nigga can't do right. You know what I'm saying, it's not in Esau to do righteousness. All right, it's only in Esau to do wickedness. All right, and for her to find that out, you know what I'm saying, it was only meant for her to find it out and to air it out for the men of the Lord to tie it into what's going on, you know what I'm saying, in this wicked ass setup which is ran by Esau, all right? Because the Bible tells you, all right, in Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, all right? The wicked is Esau, that's Malachi 1 and 4, all right? And then when you read 2 Ezra 6 and 9, it tells you, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, all right? So in order for for Jacob to rule, Esau has to rule first, all right? And last time I checked, Yahweh Shai wasn't on the scene. He ain't back yet. King David wasn't back on the scene yet. They're not sitting on the throne, all right? So that means Esau is still in rulership, all right? Because the only person that can take Esau out of rulership is Yahweh Shai, all right? Who was Isaac, if you have eyes and, you know what I'm saying, ears to see and hear and understand, all right? The same man that gave him the blessing is going to take it away, all right? Yahweh Shai, all right? That was one of his many times he visited this earth, all right, in his different lives, all right? Just going back to Isaiah 19, I'm going to jump down to verse 14. It say the Most High Yahweh had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggered in his vomit. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right, so all you Americans, you modern day Babylonians who thinking this place is gonna come back, thinking you're gonna get your business back, you're surely and sorely mistaken. All right, it's not gonna happen. All right, this place is finished. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to destroy this place, all right? And you know what I'm saying? He's getting ready to lift up that sedition among men, all right? You just wait, all right? You people are finna start robbing, stealing, and spoiling each other, all right? For the lack of goods, the lack of bread, and for the great tribulation that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is finna bring to this goddamn. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Even if you Americans, you know what I'm saying, are to win, I mean, even if you people are to somehow vote out Trump, you know what I'm saying, and to get him out of office, it doesn't matter, right? Him and Joe Biden are on the same accord when it comes to the war with China, all right? You people are not getting your businesses back, all right? Biden even said he's gonna keep the shit going, and he's even gonna raise the taxes up even higher. So it doesn't matter which one of these devils win, all right? And for you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans who running down to Egypt for help, all right, thinking sleepy Joe Biden is gonna fucking save you, all right? This devil just had a fucking, he just had a fucking appearance in Haiti, all right? And he's back up to his old pedophilic ways as well, all right? I'm gonna show you that clip as I end this lesson, all right? He talking about he can't wait to see 4 little Haitian girls, which would be the tribe of Levi, 4 years from now dancing, all right? Showing you know what I'm saying? These devils they have their eyes on, you know what I'm saying, you Israelite women from a young age, all right? You know what I'm saying? And he, truth be told, if he wanted them, he could have them now, all right? Because, you know what I'm saying? This place pushes and accepts that shit, all right? So, anyway, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to close out with that, you know what I'm saying? Abaratazah willing Yahweh Shem Yahushua. It was edifying. Give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. And I want to see these beautiful young ladies. I want to see them dancing when they're 4 years older, too.